Look closely at this jagged scar. It is not a war wound, but a receipt for a life sold cheaply.
Welcome to Hoxie, Nepal.
In this quiet village, poverty has a terrifying price tag that everyone is forced to pay. Almost every adult here carries the same mark, a surgical line where a vital kidney was harvested for the market. $200 is the price of survival. It is enough to buy food today, but never enough to escape. In the suffocating heat of Cairo's back alleys, a different kind of trade thrives in the shadows of the night. Migrants from Sudan wait in dim rooms. They are not waiting for jobs, but for buyers of their own bodies. A rusty stand holds the only thing they have left to sell. Their blood is liquid gold on the market. This is a blood farm. Men lie here for weeks, drained repeatedly until their bodies simply cannot give any more. Every drop is cataloged and sold. The demand for human blood creates a cycle of biological exhaustion and pure greed. Behind unlicensed clinics, the trash tells the story. Bloody gauze and used needles are the only traces of these crimes. In the Baseco slums of Manila, the smell of salt and rot hangs over thousands of people living on edge. This fisherman sold his kidney to repair his boat. Now he has the tools to work, but no strength left. This white cooler looks ordinary, but inside is a living heart. It is moving faster than any legal cargo today. Logistics is everything. Organs must move across borders in hours. Corruption at the terminal ensures the package stays cold. The steel is cold and sharp. In a basement operating room, the line between medicine and murder is incredibly thin. These farmers are trapped in debt cycles. They point to their scars, the only way they could pay landlords. Hygiene is an afterthought in these clandestine rooms. A cracked sink and yellow water are all that protect the patient. A human eye reflects the monitor. Corneas are rare and expensive. On the red market, sight is a luxury item. In the Mexican desert, the cartels have found a new way to profit. Human bodies are now just another commodity. An abandoned warehouse becomes a surgical ward. No records are kept here. No names are spoken. Only the profit matters. Passports lie next to surgical tools. This is a global business where borders vanish if the price is high enough. Pain is the only language spoken in this room. The silence is broken only by the sound of heavy breathing. Manila's harbor at dawn hides a dark secret. Beneath the beauty of the sunrise, a biological harvest is taking place. The chains are not just for prisoners. They are for the donors who changed their minds too late to escape. Frost crystals form on human tissue. Inside these bags are the components of a life waiting for a new owner. She weeps for her husband who never came home from the clinic. The red market leaves only widows and debt. He moves through the crowded market with a cooler. No one looks twice at the man carrying a stolen heart. The green line on the monitor is a timer. In this trade, every second of a heartbeat is worth thousands. The needle pulls the skin together. It is a crude repair for a body that will never feel whole again. A private jet waits on the tarmac. For the wealthy, the red market is a fountain of youth and life. In this Cairo apartment, a brotherhood of the scarred is formed. They share their stories of loss and betrayal. A single drop of blood hits the floor. It is the only evidence left in a room where lives are traded. He digs in the dry earth, perhaps a grave, perhaps a foundation. The red market has taken his future away. They lead him down the stairs. He was told it was a medical checkup, but the truth is much darker. The surgeon's eyes are cold. He does not see a person, only a collection of valuable parts for his clients. Empty vials litter the floor. They are the remnants of a sleep from which some people never actually wake up. A hand-painted sign offers cash. It is a siren song for the desperate, leading them straight into a surgical trap. Wealthy patients wait in luxury. They do not ask where the organ came from. They only want to live longer. She holds a photo of her son. He went to the city to find work and became a donor instead. The white van moves silently through the night. It is a mobile operating room for the shadows of the city. He runs through the shacks, fueled by terror. He has seen what happens to those who refuse to sell themselves. Money changes hands in the dark. This is the only part of the transaction that is handled with absolute precision. The tools are laid out like a ritual. Each one is designed to take what cannot be given back easily. Simple wooden crosses fill the cemetery. Many of those buried here are missing more than just their lives today. The morgue drawer opens slowly. Even the dead are not safe from the scavengers of the global red market. A red thumbprint seals the deal. Most donors cannot read the contracts that sign away their health and their rights. He looks at the horizon, trapped in a desert camp. His body is his only asset, and it's being sold. The bolt slides home. In this world, you are either a buyer, a seller, or a victim in a cage. The technician stares through the microscope. Biological matching is the only thing that matters in this high-stakes illegal trade. A luxury yacht floats in neutral waters. Here, the laws of nations are replaced by the laws of the market. Fluid moves through the tube. It is a grim reminder that a human body is being dismantled for a profit. He sits on the beach, clutching his side. The bandage is white, but his future is dark and uncertain now. The hospital floor is crowded with the dying. For some, the red market is the only hope they have left. A silver crucifix rests on a scar. Even faith cannot heal the damage done by the hunger of the market. The cargo plane hums. Above the clouds, organs are transported to the highest bidders in the world's richest cities. Sweat drips from the mask. The pressure is high when a single mistake can destroy a $50,000 organ. A long line of people walks through the dust. They are carrying nothing but the bodies they hope to sell. A light bulb flickers over a rusted chair. This is where the most desperate transactions are performed, in total, cold darkness. His knuckles are white as he grips the fence. He is trapped in a system that views him as cargo. The taxi moves through the rain. Inside, a cooler holds a kidney that must reach the clinic before the dawn. A mosquito lands on a bandage. In this heat, infection is as much a threat as the surgeon's dull blade. The house looks normal from the outside, but inside, a highly illegal and dangerous transplant is taking place right now. Young men lie on bunk beds, clutching their sides. They are waiting for the pain to fade, but it never ends. He walks slowly on the wet concrete. Every step is a reminder of the organ he left behind in there. The phone screen glows with a price. On the dark web, human parts are listed like items in a catalog. The light goes out. In the darkness, the work continues. The red market never sleeps, and it never shows mercy. He sharpens the scissors on a stone. In the world of illegal surgery, tools are used until they finally break. The mountains are beautiful, but indifferent. They hide the secrets of villages that have been gutted by the organ trade. He sits in the warehouse surrounded by boxes. He is just another item waiting to be processed by the system. The word rejected is a death sentence. An organ that cannot be sold leaves the donor with absolutely nothing left. He gives the boy water. It is a small act of kindness in a place where people are harvested like crops. A drop of disinfectant hits the wound. It is not enough to stop the rot that is starting deep inside. A single white cross in the desert. It marks the spot where a donor's journey ended far from their home. The centrifuge spins. Technology and greed combine to make the red market more efficient than it has ever been before. He wakes up in a daze. The realization of what he has lost hits him harder than the physical pain. The team rushes through the hall. This is the high-speed logistics of death and life, played for incredible sums. A drop of blood on a dollar bill. It is the ultimate symbol of the trade we are witnessing today. Children play in the dirt, unaware. They are the next generation of potential donors for the hungry global red market. The green light illuminates the van. It is a haunting glow in a world where human life is for sale. Hands tie the knot. The surgery is over, but the nightmare for the donor is only just beginning right now. The freighter moves across the dark ocean. Hidden in its hold are containers that the manifest will never actually list. The nurse fills the syringe. In this basement clinic, there are no records, no names, and no turning back now. The scar is a map of a tragedy. It tells a story of a choice made in total, absolute desperation. He stares at the mosque wall. He sold his kidney to save his family, but the money is already gone. They carry him to the truck. He is no longer a person to them, just a vessel that was emptied. The key turns in the lock. The cycle of the red market continues, fueled by the world's endless dark demand. The sunrise over the slum is beautiful. It hides the reality of a city that lives off the bodies of others. He sits at the computer, managing the sales. To him, these are just numbers, not human lives and beating hearts. The staple is pressed into the skin, a cold, mechanical end to a procedure that should have never taken place. He looks at the traffic in Cairo. Somewhere in those cars, an organ is moving toward a very wealthy patient. He walks through the jungle at night. He is escaping a clinic that wanted more than he could safely give. The cooler is opened. The ice is melting, and the time for the organ inside is rapidly running out now. The city lights are bright and cold. They hide the shadow economy that keeps the elite living a little longer. He looks in the mirror. He does not recognize the gaunt, pale man staring back at him with vacant eyes. A fly crawls over a mask. It is a sign of the decay that surrounds the entire illegal organ industry. The fire casts long shadows. He is warm now, but his body will never feel the same as before. They lead them through the tunnel. It is a secret path for a trade that cannot survive the daylight. He signs the document. He is selling his future for a handful of cash that will not last a month. The wind blows sand across the road. Somewhere out there, another clandestine clinic is opening its doors for the night. The stainless steel sinks are clean. In this lab, the focus is on the product, not the human source. A drop of sweat on a lip. The tension of the trade is visible on every face involved in it. The market is full of desperate faces. Each one is a potential seller in a world that has failed them. The boat rocks on the waves. Under the tarpaulin, a man is recovering from a surgery he barely survived today. The tray is covered, the evidence is hidden, and the room is prepped for the next person in the line. He looks at the map. He is planning the route for a shipment that is worth more than his life. The shadow moves across the wall. It is a ghost of a person who has been hollowed out by greed. The clamp bites into the gauze. The red market is a surgical strike against the world's most vulnerable and poor. The neon lights are blurred. In the rainy city, the trade continues in the back of vans and basements. He drinks the water, shaking. He is alive, but he has left a piece of himself in that dark room. The flat line on the monitor. Sometimes the price of an organ is the life of the person who gave. The sunrise reveals the poverty. It is the fuel that keeps the red market burning across the entire world today. He is strapped to the table. The last thing he sees is the cold, white light of the surgical lamp. The thread is pulled tight. The physical wound is closed, but the social wound will remain open for a lifetime. He stands on the pier. He is waiting for a boat that will take him away from his old life. They push the wheelchair down the hall. The donor is finished, and the system is ready for the next one. The cooler sits alone. It is a stark image of the commodification of the human body in the modern world. They walk through the snow. Even in the remote mountains, the reach of the red market is long and cold. The technician holds the vial. This is the science of the shadow world, where life is bought and sold daily. A tear runs down a cheek. It is the final silent protest against a world that treats people like spare parts. The earth glows in the dark. Below that light, the red market continues its silent, deadly harvest of human life.